make us more vibrant and source for more markets for our many products that we are having here. And with UNBS now, we've made an East African integration more higher, because once a product undergoes test in one of the countries, let's say for example under UNBS Uganda, now it goes free East African without further test. This is credible, because now we are one community. From the speech of the president yesterday you had, we are removing the bridges, the blocks, and building bridges for us to continue with trade. So we need I'm encouraging you as the Minister of Trade to really give me work to do. The Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, led by the Honorable Mwebesa, is led by a technical person in manufacturing. One of the most senior manufacturers who has excelled in all spheres of trade, of manufacturing. He has seen it all. So give us work, produce enough. Now the market is wide with the East African integration, which has incorporated Congo with a big market of more than, which has made more than 200 billion now of people together with us. Now with South Sudan, you've seen everybody is opening doors for Uganda. What are you putting in that market? This issue of pull her down will not work. When you see your colleague producing the same product as you're producing and his product is moving very fast than yours, check yourself. You must have a problem. Check your quality. Check your standards. Check the way you do your things. Check your environment. Check your talents of marketing. Yes. Pulling her down will not make us move. Ours, what will make us move is joining together cohesively, joining together, moving to another level. Because we need as much products as possible. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we hosted the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, who gave us a lot of detail in that market. Now the countries have opened a lot of opportunities, including the free zones, free export zones, and where we are going to rest our products. Now markets are opened in Djibouti, in Ghana, in Nigeria, and they have opened doors for the transport sector, the Uganda Airlines, to land in those countries. They have opened ground. So we shall not complain that we don't have space for landing. The space is there. Recently in Congo, they opened the doors. We had only 2 flights going to Kinshasa. Now we have 5 flights going to Kinshasa. And extended 1 flight to Goma, another flight to Lubumbashi. So we are doing a lot, gentlemen and ladies. We need to put in a lot of effort. Uganda is going to go to another level. And in the World Trade Organization, where I represented as the vice chair, representing Africa, it was on record. The products that we are having here in Uganda, that others are boosting with in other countries, the raw material comes from Uganda. Our coffee, our tea, our cocoa, those are the factories you are hearing. Those economies are booming, are doing what? Once we start adding value here, we put our own machines to add value in this country, those people will be history.
Honorable, the assignment given to Science, Technology and Innovation is to ensure productivity acceleration, to ensure that we have import substitution, and we have enhancement of export of value-added products. And we see no better way of quickly achieving that but by closely associating with the business sector, especially manufacturers who are working already in our ecosystem. So this is a very, very strategic event for Uganda, not only to showcase products, but to market the country, what we are capable of doing. And Right Honorable, I can assure you, both the chairman and the ED can testify that our presence here as exhibitors and as sponsors has made a difference, because we have interacted very, very closely. Right Honorable, we are in the process of signing a memorandum of understanding for us to join the Ministry of Trade to work with the WOMA, because and all the future shows we will be here working together with them. We have agreed in principle that we shall be working with the Uganda Manufacturers Association, because as we do innovation in the country, we need off-takers. We need these people to take in the local innovation into the industries. And they cannot do that unless they know. And sometimes we are doing science, technology, separate from the private sector, and then we expect them to take in what we have done on our own. So we now want to work with them. We want to know their research needs. We want to know their innovation needs, so that we work together. And that is the way we are going to accelerate. They know the market. They know how to market these products. They are very familiar with their territory. So as science, technology, and innovation, we are embedding ourselves on the other side in government, but on this side in private sector. And it's a strategic direction that we have taken. So we want to thank you for coming around, for coming to close. The show was opened officially by the first Deputy Prime Minister, and you have come to close it. We really appreciate your coming. I have a lot of staff around, and people are stated, STI, can you show up, identify yourselves where you are? And Right Honorable, throughout the week, since we opened Monday last week, we have already identified a lot of Ugandan innovators who are stuck somewhere in the value chain. And following this event, starting the 6th of November, we are going to have the Science Week, which is where we are exhibiting where we are going, where we want to take the nation. And I want to invite you all to come and see, so that you know strategically where you're in.
All right, so government intends to at least see that the innovation sector grows. Well, if you're to look at some of the young entrepreneurs in Uganda, by the way, and also try to steadily look at how the sector is growing in the space of innovation, look at the space of science, science, technology, innovation, all these go hand in hand. Even during the presentation at the Uganda 60 celebrations at Kololo, you got to realize how this was a big presentation of technology and how Uganda is being shaped. And also we got to realize that NASA will be launching Uganda satellite on the orbit. When you look at such innovations, these are some of the things that we can steadily say the country is moving forward. In this financial year, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development also highlighted that technology, ICT, that is information, communication and technology, will be some of the core values of this entire financial year, looking through how the economy will transit into the economic space, and also ensure that e-commerce is being boosted across the entire country, because most of the countries are already using technology to boost their economies. Developments here and there in innovation, even when we want to see our levels of manufacturing increasing, these are some of the sectors that we steadily need to work upon and see how best we can fly as Uganda, flying bigger and better. Now, also on the other hand of the quality of products here, when you look at one of the challenges that we've been facing as a country in regards to the level of exports, we've faced a very huge challenge even with our neighbors, Kenya, with the fact that they cited low quality of products from the agricultural sector, and then also look at the other sectors around the country. But mainly, if we want to check on the level of exports that we have in Uganda, and if we want to increase these ones, we need to check on the quality of products that are being manufactured, the quality of commodities or raw materials that we export out of the country, because then we can set a trademark for our own selves, and we can also set a trend for Uganda's products, and clearly the other countries will still look at us and feel like we have the best quality on the market. And to compete favorably on the exportation space, you get to realize you have to make sure you are on top of your game. Recently, when President Museveni was actually highlighting during his speech on Sunday during Independence, he did mention that on the export market, Africa always receives the list of the shares. Even when a market, for example, has $1 trillion of rating, you will find out that Africa will be receiving a sum of around 25 million. So when he also used the situation to do with coffee, whereby he said Africa only receives $2.5 billion, and out of the 2.5, $800 million goes to Uganda, of which Uganda is one of the key exporters of coffee on the continent. So clearly that shows you that we are still receiving less of what we input. But maybe sometimes we get to realize we always have to check on the quality of the products or the quality of the goods that we export out of the country. Now, besides that, the other update is regarding infrastructure development, as government is working tirelessly to connect different routes to the market areas, according to the Right Honourable Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, who believes the government is working tirelessly and steadily well to ensure the development of infrastructure. Every other financial year, there is always a budget that is allocated to develop infrastructure, to either maintain roads or check on the different areas and work on different social services and provision of social amenities here and there, because definitely these are some of the things that we should not go away from. And if we are to look at development of the entire country, these are the things that government has to ensure working on. And infrastructure development, more so the roads, connecting various routes from the routes deep in the villages to the market centers, because you want to connect the local farmer to the market, because sometimes these local farmers will not hit the exportation market or will not hit the international market. But if at all they can hit the market in Uganda, mainly in the city centers or mainly in the town councils, then it is better for them that way. And that is exactly what the Right Honourable Prime Minister here is highlighting, that infrastructure development is something that government is working tirelessly towards, to ensure that they connect different routes to market areas. Earlier in the morning, we did mention that some of the traders in Moroto have shunned away from accessing the market. So maybe you get to realize some of these things is what government is steadily working upon to achieve. Let's have more of the details in this update.
Congratulate all the groups and individuals who have participated in this year's exhibition. I thank you for demonstrating Uganda's potential as a powerful industrial and business hub in the East African region and Africa. Uganda's industrialization journey is unstoppable, and government will continue to provide business-friendly environment for both local and foreign investors. When the NRM government took power in 1986, the economy of Uganda had been completely crippled. The NRM was faced with an enormous task of refocusing the economy from the disaster of total collapse to progressive road of revival, equitable socio-economic transformation and prosperity for all. As a result, we have been able to transform a tragedy into a success story. Honorable ministers and all of you present, how was the transformation possible? First and foremost, we followed the principle of correct prioritization. This means investing in the most crucial sectors of the economy, which in turn serve as catalysts for business growth and development. These catalysts are the good road network, enough electricity supply, hospitals, schools, peace and stability in the security. These development projects, which have been largely funded by the Ugandan government, have improved the investment potential of Uganda by lowering the cost of doing business, thus giving confidence to investors. Uganda boasts of tarmacked roads from border to border. Without electricity, roads, the railway, water transport, telecommunications, the ICT backbone, etc., business cannot thrive. How can you transport farm produce if you do not have roads? How will you manufacture or run hotels if you do not have electricity? Therefore, by prioritizing investment in the development of physical infrastructure, the NRM government ignited Uganda's economy. We have started Uganda's industrial revolution, which has now taken root in all parts of the country. There are 4 sectors where households can create wealth and jobs for our young people. They are commerce, agriculture, industries, big or small, services such as hotels, transport, professional services, soaps, etc., and ICT, that is business processes outsourcing. These are the 4 pillars of a modern money economy from which Ugandans can select a profitable enterprise that suits them.
All right, a profitable enterprise that suits them. And when you listen to statements like that particular one, it's also taking us back to how best can we term ourselves as Ugandans if we look at the market across the East African Community bloc, with the fact that we want to implement no trade barriers across the African continent, elimination of visa restrictions, because that way business is going to be boosted and someone can easily move from one country to the other just to do business. And these are some of the things that we can steadily look at and say, yes, it will be better this way. But also focusing more on establishment of some of these particular issues is looking steadily at how best we can grow ourselves as the country. But yes, that is it for this particular update. Infrastructure development being one of the key priorities from the government or by the government to ensure that the development of the country takes center stage. That is it from the Right Honourable Prime Minister Robina Nabbanja, giving us more of those details. Meanwhile, after the break, when we return, we go on ground with Berige Andrew. We have more of the discussions coming up. This is Smart Means Business. Stick around.